Anyway, so what's going on, guys? Now, today is a very important tier list. Now, this tier list is gonna get a bit of a, maybe backlash, bit of maybe positive support behind it. Who knows what we'll get? We'll get two sides of it. I can feel I hate you, or I can feel, yeah, that's about right. So today, we're ranking which teams are the stinkiest teams. One of the tier names is wrong, but the tier list is only three tiers long. We've got no stink, average stink, and boy, they stink like shit. So I'm going to zoom that in so you can get a real good look at the stink. But yeah, so we're going to rank them on like how they play, their fan base, if their fans are just annoying, if I want to watch them. We're going to rank them all about the stinkiness, right? It doesn't, like, you know, it doesn't matter if they don't play bad. If their fans are shit, they can still be stinky. I'm just putting it out there. But the pressure is on for me to decide because there's only three tiers. Again, no stink. It was meant to be average stink and stink like shit. So you really either want to be a no stink, obviously, or average stink. So let's get straight into it. With Adelaide. Oh my god. Now this is not just 2020. Well, do we just do it based on 2020? Do we do it in general? Their fans, they stink. Let's be real. Adelaide's fans, they're stinky. They played like shit this year as well. So it's not looking too good for the Adelaide Crows. So I'm just going to have to, straight away, the first team is going to go and stink like shit. Oh my god. Thank you. Carlton. They play alright games here and there. Their fans are very passionate about the game. They don't mind it. I don't mind watching Carlton games. For me, they're average stink. Like, they can have some stinky, very, very stinky games. Like, games they should win. Like, they should have been in Adelaide this year. Come on. But they had some very, very good games. They almost beat the Power. Their fans very passionate about the footy. So I'm going to put them in average stink. Like, you smell a little wee bit, but you don't smell too much. So just relax. Definitely not putting them in average stink because I got attacked in my last video about Carlton being in a certain spot on the ladder. Definitely not doing this to compensate or anything. Realistically, they should be in stink like shit. But we're going to go past it. We're going to move past it. We're just going to go past it. Collingwood, obviously no stink. 100% no stink. I don't even have to say anything about it, realistically. Essendon. Oh, man. Their fans can be very cocky. So can Carlton fans, though. And so can Collingwood fans. So that doesn't really count for anything. Let me put this in another word. Their fans can be very annoying. Probably more annoying. Like, I hate, like, obviously I have hate towards Carlton because I'm a Collingwood fan. But for some reason, I hate Essendon fans more. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I think they're just very annoying in my opinion. From personal experiences as well. That I've come across some very, very annoying Essendon fans and not too many annoying Carlton fans, surprisingly. So, from personal experience, I'm going to put them in stink like shit. And another reason is we can't go past their stinky, shitty trade period. Well, not trade period, but the stinkiness of everyone wanting to leave their club. Everyone wanting to leave their club just shows how much of a stinky club Essendon are, right? So, I'm going to put them in stink like shit. I'm actually also going to move Collingwood into average stink as well. I'm going to put... Oh, jeez. Do I put the Tigers in no stink? They have very stinky, annoying fucking cunt fans. But their fans get to be stinky only because the team itself doesn't stink. You get what I'm saying? Like, the fans are allowed to be stinky because the team isn't stinky. The team is good. No stink. I think it just has to be no stink. Like, as much as there's a lot of factors that go into it, like their fans are stinky, but their players aren't stinky. They're very good, talented players. So I'm going to have to put them in no stink. As much as it pains me to put them in no stink, I think they have to go in no stink. Hawthorn. Jeez, stink like shit. Had a very bad year, and their fans, if you don't know, are very, very, very self-entitled. Fuck, I hate Hawthorn fans. I don't hate all Hawthorn fans. I could come across a few good ones. Fallen Sport, for example, is a nice one. But yeah, Hawthorn, some of their fans are very self-entitled. They think they deserve everything. Husband, AFL. But yeah, I'm going to put Hawthorn in stink like shit. The three-peat was a bit ago. Get over it. It's done now. It's not going to happen ever again. You've already had your time. You stink now. Shut up. Fremantle. Jeez. I think Fremantle have to go in average stink. Had a bad start to the year in 2020, but it got better as the year went on. So they played some alright footy as the year went on. Had a few good wins here and there, and a few bad losses. Their supporters don't got anything really... actually, this is hard. Because their supporters can be very, very frustrating to listen to. They're not as bad as Eagle supporters. So I'm going to put in general, I'm going to put the Dockers in average stink. Because they didn't play that bad of footy this year. They weren't as bad. Like, they started the year off bad, but then they got better. So I'm going to put in an average stink, and also because their fans aren't too bad either. But the Eagles... stink like shit. I'm going to put them in stink like shit. Don't come at me. Personal opinions. They're very annoying. Peterson's 2018 grand final. Obviously not angry about that still or anything. But stink like shit. Their fans, holy fucking shit, they're annoying. They yell at everything. They seriously yell at every umpire call. It's like when the Indians go up for an LBW call. You know, like when the Indians, like an LBW call happens and the Indians, they scream like children. That's like, like they do all that. That's West Coast Eagles fans for you. But for my liking, the Eagles stink like fucking shit. And you also lost to the Pies when you should have won against us. It was a no-brainer. You lost that elimination final, so you stink like shitty McShitty. Geelong. I'm going to put Geelong in... I'm going to put Geelong in... Some of their fans are very weird. Didn't win the granny, but came close to winning it this year. I am going to put them in... I'm going to put them at the top of average stink, but they could be in no stink. If they had won the grand final, I'll put them here as well. But I'm going to put them at the top of average stink because they have very, like they do have very passionate fans though. I'm just going to put them at the top of average stink, but I may change them to no stink. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll move it on. The Gold Coast Stuns. Let's be real. They stink like shit. Barely got any fans. Only played good with Matt Rowell. And then for the rest of the season, they stunk like shit. It's tough to call them an AFL club. It really is nowadays. It very much is. But hopefully Matt Rowell can put them in a good direction, so I can actually, start thinking of the Suns as a threat. Because right now, let's be real, without Matt Rowell, the Suns aren't anything. So GWS, they can have some. You know what? Personal opinion. I'm gonna put them in stink like shit. Their players so cocky. Toby Green, fucking hell, he's a dickhead. Jeremy Finlayson, he is so cocky as well. They try to get under everyone's skin. I mean, they managed to do it. They've obviously got under my skin, as you can tell. But it's just so annoying. They're just so cocky. I feel like there's a fight between Giants players and other teams' players in like every game that the Giants have. Like, they'll always start a fight with someone. I don't know why. They just try to act big, and then sometimes they lose by a big margin, but they still think like they're big and strong. Oh, we're big. But yeah, for me, stink like shit. And, they barely got any fans as well. Melbourne. I'm going to put Melbourne in average stink. I don't think they're too stinky. They've grown a lot of fans. They've obviously had some very, very passionate fans from day one who've been searching for a final series. So when they finally got to play finals in 2018, they were over the moon and happy about it. So yeah, for the Ds, I'm going to put them in average stink. Port Adelaide fans, jeez, sometimes they can really get under me skin. It's really between average stink. I think I'm going to put them at the bottom of average stink. They're lucky that they played so well this year, because if they didn't play so well, I would put them in stink like shit because some of their fans can be really, really frustrating. I feel it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, you know, well, I do know how to explain it. They just get very, very angry at stupid, like at umpire calls that are obviously correct. Like say for example, you would see a correct holding the ball call that the umpire made. Like it's obviously holding the ball, but for some reason Port Adelaide fans are just like, that's bullshit, that's not holding the ball and all that. So you get where I'm coming from. St Kilda, I don't have too much problems with them. They played a right footy this year. So you know what? I'm going to put them in no stink. I'm going to put St Kilda in no stink. I don't really have problems with them. Their fans are alright. The way they played footy this year was great. I actually do enjoy watching Saints games as well. I do find myself watching a lot of Saints games. I find them exciting because they're a young team with a lot of pace as well. And yeah, so don't got a problem with the Saints. No stink for me. The Sydney Swans. I'm going to put him... Oh, jeez. It's like being a Collingwood fan. It's really tempting to put them in stink like shit, but I've also got to consider how they play. This year they didn't play that well. I'm going to put them in average stink. It's flirting with stink like shit. Like Sydney, you are very flirting with stink like shit. You played a few average games this year, but you played some okay games this year. And sometimes your fans really, really get on my nerves. Sometimes, but most of the times they're okay. They're okay most of the times, but sometimes they can stink like shitty. Alright? Sometimes they can. The Brisbane Lions. When they didn't have fans, I'd put them in no stink. When they've all of a sudden just gathered a shit ton of fans, I'm going to put them in average stink. But I'll put them at the top of average stink, bordering no stink. Played some great footy, but again, like the Eagles and like the Dockers, their fans, holy shit, can be annoying. Their fans can be annoying, but I've got to say, I wouldn't get, like, I haven't found myself getting frustrated viewing a Lions game and getting frustrated because the fans were getting really angry and booing like 100% of the time. Whereas an Eagles game, I have found myself getting frustrated and viewing the game because the Eagles fans are getting angry 100% of the time of the match. So for that reason, and because the Lions played some great footy, and because they had the Brownlow medalists, I'm going to put them at average stink. This leaves two more teams. The Western Bulldogs, jeez, was going to put them in no stink. But then a story has come to my vision. Actually, no. It's the opposite way around. Sorry, I fucked it up. So, no stink. No stink. It was no stink. I fucked up the story. It was the opposite way around. You'll hear about it another time, probably. But anyway, no stink. I am going to put them in no stink. Don't have a problem with their fans. I think they're really nice. Very passionate about the footy. Happy for them when they won the 2016 Grand Final because they were a very, very underdog club back in those days. And yeah, just really have no problem with their fans at all. Love watching them play footy. Fast, entertaining most of the times. You know, when they're up and about, the Dogs are very, very entertaining to watch. So I'm going to put them in no stink. Stink like shit, North Melbourne. I'm going to put them with Adelaide because, you know, they finished 17th. They had a stinky year. Their fans, they barely have any nowadays, let's be real. They stunk like shit this year. They just don't seem to know what to do with good players. Like, you know, they had Sean Higgins, but they didn't seem to know what to do with him. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon. Cheers.